Welcome back to America's Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. This segment is brought to you by Bull Realty Asset and Occupancy Solutions. Visit bullrealty.com. Please welcome my next guest is John Boyd. He's a principal with the Boyd Company. John, thanks for joining us here in Studio One.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
So you guys help with corporate relocations for companies all over the country. So I'm curious, what are some of the trends you're seeing on location decisions today?
Well, in the office market, we're seeing a trend. Companies are decentralizing away from the major financial capitals. Companies like JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Ernst & Young are taking employees out of expensive markets like Chicago and New York City and Boston for secondary, tertiary, less costly markets like Jacksonville, Palm Beach County, Atlanta, and Charlotte.
And why are they doing that?
There's a number of reasons. Companies are learning to do more with less. We're seeing automation obviously be a big trend in the financial services sector. But the reality is companies want the panache of a Manhattan address, but they want to do as little work there as possible. They want their brick and mortar presence in Manhattan and their labor force in Manhattan to be as small as possible. The reality is in Jacksonville or Palm Beach County, financial services workers are going to get paid 20% less than they would in Manhattan. And there's also an ability for companies to transfer their key executives to these lower cost markets because these are very desirable places to live. Yeah. There's zero personal income tax in Florida, which has made Jacksonville and Palm Beach County both very attractive markets for financial services operations.
And John, what would you say to companies and listeners and viewers out there that maybe have something to do with the government and the cities where they're located in the states? What should they not do or what should do to attract these big companies?
Sure. Well, two things come to mind. The first are religious freedom bills, which are job-killing pieces of legislation. Economic development is challenging enough in 2017. We call it the second war between the states. So the last thing lawmakers should be doing is making it even more difficult for economic development professionals to do their jobs and attract industry. If you look at HB2, the fallout associated with the bathroom bill in North Carolina, above and beyond North Carolina losing the NCAA, they also lost a number of high-profile banking projects because of that religious freedom bill. And we see other legislation on the horizon. Texas and Alabama are set to adopt similar religious freedom bills this legislative year, which we expect to dominate the news cycle. And that's good news for pro-business, low-cost states like Georgia, for example, and Florida, that wisely have avoided getting involved in these job-killing religious freedom bills.
Yeah. What are some of the trends you see, John, that some of these corporate users are utilizing today to grow their firms and be more profitable and attract the right employees?
Well, this truly is a global economy, and the battle for market share for companies is millennials, but it's also the battle for talent. Companies are doing a number of creative things to really attract the best people. And another area here is, the collaboration between the private sector, the academic sector, and the public sector. There's a common denominator among growth markets today, and these are markets that encourage new mixed-use developments. That are places where millennials want to live. And that, of course, really helps the labor market supply the workforce with the types of workers necessary.
And I guess that's important, especially in some of these second-tier cities where maybe it's less expensive to bring your company, but they're not the downtown New York and San Francisco's. You don't have that walkability. So I guess the mixed-use development can be a way to incorporate that in almost any market.
Absolutely. Our firm has been very active in Las Vegas over the years. We provide development counsel to the Howard Hughes Corporation, which owns Summerlin in Las Vegas' Western Valley, the largest planned community in North America, home to a number of very successful back office operations. Bank of America, Williams-Sonoma, both have presences there. A number of neat mixed-use projects coming on stream this year. In Palm Beach County, you have Westlake, which is being developed by Minto Communities. They're based in Ottawa. That's going to be an exciting project. Here in Atlanta, there's some interesting projects coming on screen too in the Midtown corridor that again will provide millennial-friendly housing that helps economic development officials attract new industry.
Yeah. What tip would you leave our listeners and viewers with, John, related to their corporate space? And you deal with large companies that need a lot of large space. So like how much in advance should they get out and start thinking about this?
Well, right now. I mean, there are a number of projects happening. Reshoring is the big narrative. Obviously, reshoring is the dominant theme in industrial site selection. But reshoring also applies to banking and financial services. Any industry that's regulated by the federal government is now thinking about reshoring jobs, white-collar jobs, back to America. And another interesting caveat here is all of the vacant retail space. I talked about the need for incentives to promote mixed-use development, but also repurposing incentives to translate and help repurpose a lot of vacant retail space into a Class B space that could accommodate a call center or a customer service center. The types of projects that we see out there right now.
Yeah, that'd be a great use for some of those big boxes if you can cut them up, open them up right, and create some light and an environment that works for that.
Right.
Well, great. Well, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you coming down to Studio One.
Thank you.
And stay with us. We'll have more on the U.S. office market, including some strategies for your space design. Stay with us. I'm Michael Bull. This is America's Commercial Real Estate Show.